Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Journey to Happy podcast. This is Olga, your host, and today we're going to talk about all things from detox the mind to reset your mindset to finally becoming the CEO of your own life. If you didn't guess it yet, these are the names of my coaching programs. And I get quite a bit of questions about them on a regular basis. So I thought it would be helpful to have an episode that I can refer people to on a regular basis to listen to what my coaching programs are, who are they for, what do each of them do, what is the difference between one and the other. And I also wanted to give you a bit of background as to why I do this, because I think that's important. At least it is important to me. That's my why. So, first of all, if we've never met, my name is Olga Lacroix. I am a trained therapist and I switch from being a therapist into becoming a life coach. I'm also a mindfulness certified instructor and a yoga teacher and a Reiki master. And all those letters only mean one thing. I study the things that make me happy. Very happy. The things that interest me. And while I absolutely loved doing therapeutic work, I fell in love with life coaching as I was being coached by a life coach. And I began to notice that a lot of my clients had really fast results in my therapy sessions. And when I started paying attention to why that was, like, what was I doing that was making people go from being at a regular therapist for 10 years and then within a few sessions with me, and then 3 months, they'll just be on the other side of anxiety, of depression, of insecurities, of overthinking. They were just feeling so much better, as self-reported by my client. And so I noticed that what I was doing that was so effective was utilizing mindfulness and life coaching tools, as well as therapeutic tools. So I had a really holistic approach that involved all of my favorite things. And that was causing my clients to propel in their change, to become really aware, to learn how to fish, essentially. And so I have entirely switched from being a therapist. I no longer do therapy on its own, but I have created 2 coaching programs that combine all of my expertise. And I keep adding things to them just as I continue to grow and experience new lessons and new strategies that help me coach people better. Who are my programs for? Is for the overthinker. So a woman who overthinks and who feels her perfectionist tendencies are creating more anxiety and separation from happiness than success. I absolutely have a soft spot for overthinkers that are perfectionists, that are overachievers. But even if you were not an overachiever, if you're a perfectionist and an overthinker, I also love working with you. And I call all of my clients and future clients pre-Oprahs, because I think they have the talent and the gifts and the ability to shine bright in whatever their area of genius is, but they're in the pre-Oprah stage when they haven't realized they have the potential of an Oprah. They know they have that potential, perhaps they are aware of that, but there's something stopping them. And so I absolutely love to just investigate with them what thoughts are stopping them from that greatness. And then I just love to help them unleash their genius out into the world so that they get to do wonderful things in the world. And they also get to benefit from being the most authentic version of who they are. It's less, all my programs are less about becoming and more about coming home to who you've always been. Okay. So my 2 coaching programs are, the first one is called Reset Your Mindset, and the other one is called Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. Now, when I started coaching people on Reset Your Mindset, on Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life, which was like the original program, I started noticing that there are some basic principles I was teaching over and over and over and over about mindset that will then allow people to become the CEO of their own mind, their own lives. And really, I should call it the CEO of your own mind, because that's what we're doing, is managing our brains. And so that's when Reset Your Mindset, like the idea of doing something prior to that program was born. And that's what Reset Your Mindset is for. It's like the foundation to then really truly CEO your own life, manage your emotional well-being in a way that allows your brain to just be really capable. We stretch the brain quite a bit. Now, I had been running the becoming the CEO of your own life for a while, and then COVID hit us and hit us strongly. I lost a lot of my clients, and I had a 4-month-old baby, and I started thinking that maybe it was time to just close shop, move on to something else. But that idea didn't really make me quite happy. But we were all full of fear, right? We just didn't know what was ahead, and that felt safe for me at the time. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And instead, I remember just talking to a friend of mine who had also become a mom and who was also a business owner. And she had a different attitude. She was like, no, this is when I thrive. It's people will need my help now more than ever. And those words inspired me. And I thought, my God, I teach people how to stop overthinking, how to stop anxiety. I teach them how to actually gain control over their mind so that they get to experience a much better life, more happiness, less worry, less overthinking, less self-doubt. They can make decisions with ease. And what better moment than in the middle of a global crisis for me to go and gift people with my knowledge? So I put my brain to work. And in fact, if you joined Reset Your Mindset, or if you've done it, you'll notice is that ongoing joke is the vintage Olga. Vintage Olga had braces on, was really tired in most of the videos because she had a 4-month-old baby. And she was up most of the night feeding this baby. And yet she was also up recording videos. And sometimes those videos were recorded at 1 a.m, sometimes at 10 in the morning when Mateo was sleeping. Reset Your Mindset was then born through the pandemic because I was so passionate to help people do exactly that, reset their mindset. And so this program is 12 weeks long. And it is a hybrid between teaching, which is what I love doing, and coaching, which is also what I love doing. So when you join Reset Your Mindset, you have access to it's called Member Vault, a vault where all the videos are kept. And we divide them inside the Reset Your Mindset formula has the following steps: awareness, pause, sitting in the mud, reset, and then deciding. And so themes will rotate every week, but it will be under one of these. We begin obviously with awareness. We then feel it and sit in the mud. Then we pause. Then we reset, and then we decide. And within each of these elements of the formula, there are different subjects. So you might have under awareness, you might have limiting beliefs, what they are, how they limit you, how to get rid of them. Expectations, why do they lead to disappointment? And what do we do instead? How can we just jump into living a more intentional life? The perfectionist mindset, the ups and the downs of that, and how do we manage that? Then we move on to the feel it and sit it in the module. And so then you have things like facing triggers, anxiety, journaling, observing your brain, not falling for what the brain is telling you, not believing everything the brain is telling you. And then when we're in the pause, we have boundaries, the done energy, and believe. And just like that, every little module has videos that are full of great content and tools. Tools is the key here because I'm teaching you how to do this on your own. You also have bonuses and meditation library and guest speakers that come. And so we record those calls, and you have access to just courses that I've recorded over the years. So that's the teaching module. But then the coaching module is that we meet once a week as a group and we coach. And so if we're talking about awareness and we're under the week of journaling or limiting beliefs, then everybody can bring up their questions after they watch the lecture. The videos you can watch on your own at any time, and the calls we all come at the same time, and we just take turns talking. The beauty of this program, the most beautiful part of this program, is that combination of teaching and coaching, but also of community. It's just having a group of more women who are also wanting to get rid of their limiting beliefs, who are also having like aha moments, takeaways, who are being courageous to share, oh my God, I'm struggling with this. And then have all the other women shaking their heads, oh, me too, or saying, I'm so grateful you brought that forward. That was in my head as well. Or my favorite is when people say, I'm so grateful you shared that. I do that, but I was not even aware that I do it and that that's a problem. So it builds such a strong community. It's like friendships are born, and it is such a beautiful thing for me as a coach to watch. And what I love also is that people start coaching themselves and each other. And so less focus is given on me, where they are feeling more and more capable of supporting each other. And so one of my latest groups created their own Facebook page, because I support you as well in between calls through Facebook, so you guys can connect with everybody else after the calls. And I go and I answer questions in there. The last group created their own Facebook group, and they go once a week or something, and they just use the tools and coach each other, which I think is so beautiful. So let's reset your mindset. Becoming the CEO of your own life is my other baby. And this one is not 12 weeks, it's 12 months. It's a full year. Ideally, you have done reset before you're coming to becoming the CEO of your own life. But if you've done mindset work before, you could easily just jump in. It's not a prerequisite to have done reset. And although it helps you hugely to do reset first, it's totally okay to just come in if you feel like ready for mindset work for a year, and also have a community with you. Now, becoming the CEO of your own life, it's a very obviously complete program. It doesn't, up until now, this is going to be new coming up. There's going to be some video components to it. But it really operates more like a mastermind, where people will just sign up for the year. We show up to 3 calls a month. There's one integration week. And the teaching often happens during the call. So I'll be teaching something during the call, and then people get coached. And other times we might have a guest speaker coming to one of the calls. But there's a lot of coaching happening throughout the calls. And we also get access to each other through not Facebook, but WhatsApp. So we get like voice memos, or Voxer, we get voice memos as a group. So it's all done in a group setting still. And we get to just work through our own mindset, day-to-day blockages. The expectation here is that they do a lot more self-coaching before they come to the group, before they come to the calls, before they ask for my coaching. This program is filled with incredible and more advanced mindset tools that build up from the reset formula, plus all the ones from the reset formula. And it is all intended to achieve the skills of the CEO. So often we show up to our jobs, even if we're not CEOs, we show up with the responsibility of a CEO. But when it comes to our own lives, we're just a little bit more like that employee that may call on sick a lot, show up a few times, and just do a very mediocre job in prioritizing their job. Unfortunately, that if we were employers of our own life, that's the kind of employer most of us would be. So here we just give ourselves a promotion in our own life. We vow to just prioritize ourselves, and we keep each other accountable to that. There's a lot of accountability. There is a lot of on-the-go coaching. These women take it very seriously. They are committed. They have decided that although they have never had really that feeling that they are the CEOs of their own life, they're very curious and interested in becoming that. And so we just month to month, we look at different subjects and we break it down into how would it mean to be the CEO of my own life in terms of my finances, of my marriage, of this idea of unconditional love, of me professionally. How do I bring my brain to thinking that I can have it all? What kind of thoughts could I raise my vibration, my self-concept to have? We've worked really hard at creating a really clean self-concept so that our own perception of ourselves becomes very empowering. That is a full year of empowerment. My clients stay with me for years in this program. There is no end date. You can take it as many times as you want to, because it never feels like it's the same subject. We're always evolving. And I say it feels like a mastermind because I have since I don't have like a week 1, week 2, this is what we're doing, month 1, month 2. It gives me the freedom to just really dive in with my group and notice what they're struggling with, which surprisingly it's almost always all the group has sort of like the same ideas or the same issues. And we move forward. With subjects that address the issues that are coming up. So it's very adjustable to the group, I guess. There's also this sense of sisterhood, of support. Women come really ready to coach other people. We're implementing peer coaching here. So I'm actually teaching people within the program to coach each other so that they learn. My theory is that if you can coach other people or your peers, you're more confident in your own ability to coach yourself out of mental drama and overthinking. Who is this program for? Is the same person that it is for Reset, except that she's now decided that there's incredible value on life coaching, and she wants to continue, and she wants to be a part of a community of really empowered women who are just here to support each other. It feels like some of my clients says it feels like a cult. It is not a cult. It is a place of belonging for the overthinker that wants to not be overthinking, who wants to be of great service to her own community, to her job, to her families, who wants to show up authentically, unapologetically, just really to shine. So those are the two programs. That the difference between one and the other is that one is kind of the foundation for the other. I have people who do Reset 3 and 4 times, and that's totally okay. You're not the same person each time you're taking it. So that's totally fair. And many of my people do move from Reset into becoming the CEO. That will be like the next step. And they stay there until they no longer want to be there. And then when I was teaching Reset Your Mindset, I was thinking like detox. People have to detox the mind just a little bit from the mean inner voice, from the things that take away their confidence. And if they like that, they might just want to do this for 12 weeks. So we have a boot camp that, as you have heard me promote it here in this podcast a lot, it is 5 days. It's called Detox Your Mind Boot Camp, and it is from self-critical to self-confident, and it's 5 consecutive days. So we meet on a Monday to a Friday, normally at noon, lunch hour, and we just go over some tools that will help your mind stop being so judgy of yourself, so mean, and we begin that process of becoming friends with our mind. Because ultimately, to be the CEO of your own life, you have to have a really close, tight relationship with your mind. You have to like your mind, and you will have to have clean it and learn how to reset it. And then you can just dive in as the chief, the boss, the CEO. So that explains the programs. The Reset Your Mindset. The last one I opened was September 26th. I'm about to open registration in November for the one that is in January. In February. And so that one, we're going to have early enrollment, which means you'll have access to the videos way prior to starting the coaching. So it gives you the advantage of having access to all the teachings and the bonuses and all of what's inside that vault for a much longer period of time that you would normally get it. That's a great advantage. And that program is $2,000 Canadian. And you can also pay it in a monthly basis. So for 3 months, you can divide it 2,000 for 3 months. That comes down to $666. And becoming the CEO of your own life, I open registration typically once a year. So we start in January. The registration or the application, you have to apply, and we set up a meeting. So you and I actually will have a consult before, and that is also going to be opening in November, and it starts in January. So you would also be signing up in November, and then we close registration, and we start in January with a new group, which is going to be very exciting. And the cost of that one is $10,000 for the year, which also is divided into 12 months. So it comes down to $833 a month. And Detox the Mind is $27 for those 5 days. I think that's the only thing I missed, was to tell you the cost of Detox. The opportunities are there for you I would absolutely love to help you manage your mind so that it stops overthinking. It stops feeding you doubt, self doubt. It stops telling you that you're not enough. I would love to get rid of any sabotage tendencies you might have that stop you from success, from happiness, from love. You're totally worth it. I believe with my entire heart that happiness, that confidence, that love, health, and wealth is accessible to everyone who decides they want access to that. And I love being the coach that helps women clean their mind from all the things that give their power away to those thoughts. I love that. So if you're an overthinker, you're done overthinking, you're done being worried about this and that and everything, you're done being afraid of your own shadow, if you're done being afraid of sabotaging your own progress, not knowing why, if you ask yourself all the time, if only I knew how, it's just that I don't know how. Let me tell you that I have the how. I want to teach you the how. I want to get you out of there. I really do. Because I'm very excited to see you on the other side. I celebrate my clients all the time. One of my clients just posted on Facebook to the world that she was opening her business. And I know she did one round of reset. And that's the thing that she decided to work on. I want to have the confidence to open an art studio. And I think she was an accountant. And every time we talk about it, she was like, her eyes would lit up. And I'm like, oh man, I want you to go shine your light where it belongs. That's your gift. That's your area of genius. And she did it. She just opened it. And that's my pay. I get to feel so incredibly happy and grateful for more women out there just kicking ass at doing with full heart what they love. That's it. So if that inspires you for you to get started to do some work, head over to the show notes, sign up for Detox if you feel like detoxifying the mind. Early sign up for Reset Your Mindset or apply to become the CEO of your own life. The option is yours. You decide what kind of support you want to have for how long. And my job is to welcome you and to walk you there. All right. I hope you enjoyed this episode and I will see you guys next Monday. Bye for now.